Hello and welcome to, unfortunately, another channel update. Okay, let's attach you there. Unfortunately, I've had more computer issues since last time, which, has really, slowed me down a bunch. Basically, long story short, um, my Windows installation got corrupted a few days after I had that hard drive crash. So I spent the past day just reinstalling Windows and trying to get everything back up and running. So there's not going to be, and that's on top of trying to do all the repairs from the hard drive crashing still. For example, just trying to do those couple missions in Delta Force so I can keep that series going, and so that's impacted all of that. So there probably won't. I might be able to get out Delta Force in active war this week, but I wouldn't count on it. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna do some filler, like this episode, for example, and I noticed one of my other videos from when I first started, like, it's probably not the first video I ever uploaded, I don't think, but it's one of the first. And, for a reason, I guess the algorithm has decided it is a video worthy of being recommended to others, so there's a lot more, people getting recommended to videos. So I figured, hey, why not? Since I'm behind on all my other 100 subscriber promises, I may as well just remake that video because that's something short and easy. And likewise, that's kind of what this video and that video are going to be, basically tests to make sure I still have everything up and running properly from for how I had originally set it up. So, and that about sums it up. So I've got the basics down. I mean, obviously I got OBS and I got Steam and GOG, which are, for me at least, the two heavy hitters. But I still got a couple other clients I need to reinstall. Like, let's see, there's Ubisoft Connect, as they call themselves now, Origin, and whatever the fuck they're gonna call themselves in 2 months. But yeah, that's kind of where things are at. I'm not dead. Things are still happening. I'm just more shit has happened. So, and with all that being said, in the meantime, enjoy the remainder of this video, which, again, like I mentioned, this is kind of prep for redoing that other video, because that other video I mentioned is this really shitty video I uploaded of the it was some Japanese torpedo boats from like the 1870s, I want to say, going up against British ironclad in Total War Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai, I believe. There, now that we're detected, there's no need to hold fire. I was holding it as close as we could just to maximize our element of surprise here. But yeah, so in preparation for that, we've got torpedo boats. I got a squadron of 8 Japanese torpedo boats going up against a British battleship, and the year of design is 1908, if I remember correctly. So about 30 or 40 years more modern than, at least, than what's in Fall of the Samurai, but... And we got, loose. There we go. Maximize everyone's speed here. Alright, time to take evasive actions here. At our torpedo boats, we're probably going to lose the Suma. That's honestly how these, that's how these always go. you lose the first couple boats, but they distract the battleship long enough that that the others can get in close. I mean, this is kind of the ideal situation for these torpedo boats, too. You know, a lone battleship operating with no escort in coastal waters where the boats have the range to actually attack. Are we within torpedo? Oh, we are. Well, and we can start firing. And these torpedo boats, by God, are they loaded? It's amazing what you can fit on a torpedo boat at the end of their era, because they stopped being a valid hull choice, at least in the custom game designer, after 1908, actually, I think. So, and they're built a little dangerously. I will definitely admit that. You'll see this guy probably fucking explode any second. The Suma, in particular, we will detach in order to retreat, and we will stop worrying about him. These... I thought that was the TB Futanari for a second. I was, like, very concerned. It's like, huh? Alright. No, you detach and retreat. Okay, so... the Atorofu is going to take control of this battle group. Line abreast, loose formation, HE, normal, save torpedoes. Max speed. And actually, these torpedo boats have amazing... For as much shit as I loaded them with, they have... There we go. That's what we're looking for. I've loaded them with just a ton of shit. They have 2 4-inch guns, fore and aft. They have 4 3-inch guns, 2 fore, 2 aft. And then they have 6 torpedo tube launchers in 3 double mounts. But I had so much weight left, and they have a top speed of 38 knots, but they had so much weight left over, it's like, well, what the fuck else can I do with it, you know? And we can see this is actually one of the faster battleships, so they might actually be able to evade our torpedoes somewhat. But at least they can't run away. There is no running away from... And in fact, these guys are almost danger close. But, you know, I figured, okay, what can I do with this extra weight? And Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts actually added some options like a month ago, I think, relative to when I made this video. So I'm like, okay, let's look at what we can do. That's why there's all the extra guns, so they can just kind of plink away and try to cause HE fires. Which you can see, our accuracy is not the best here. But I was able to max out the bulkheads, which is like the only reason why this thing is still floating, probably, is because I was able to max out bulkheads. So that reduces the ability of, you know, floodwaters to ingress into the ship and makes it harder for fires to spread. Yeah, he's going down. The conning tower is damaged, so captain's probably dead. Surprisingly, only 20% of the crew has died so far. And that's another thing, too, the crew training for these. Since these are supposed to be, for as much as I decked them out, they're supposed to be kind of disposable ships, so they have only 40% crew training. So they're at the trained level, and we can see the Hero is close enough that it just kind of took some hits there. But yeah, I was able to, if you look at here, I was able to, we're using semi-oil, which makes these boats kind of expensive, relatively speaking. They're like 1.2 million a piece, I think, in the game's money. I don't know if that's in then-year dollars or in modern dollars, but, and this one's probably just going to get flooded out. Let's detach and order them to retreat. Okay, so I want you to form up on the Division 5. No. Well, fuck it. Apparently we're just gonna micro the fuck out of these guys now. Oh, you can keep going ahead, I guess. But, yeah, we actually none of them sunk yet. Oh, they managed to get their fires under control. This is fucking amazing. And even them, they managed to get the flooding under control. And they're taking the fire so that way these two boats can close in within as close as they can to torpedo distance. But yeah, so they have the two 4-inch guns. Let's zoom in here and see if we can get a good view. We have one 4-inch gun there, and then two secondary 3-inch guns at the front. We have a conning tower. I didn't choose the most advanced model in order to conserve on space and because it slightly reduces the target signature. And we want to get in as close as possible. You can see the 3 twin mounts there. Wow, this makes it actually look like I could have shoved the 4th one in, but honestly, for this time period, 6 torpedoes is a fuck ton. You can see we have a big ol' aft funnel section to enable us to hit 38 knots. And the funnels themselves also have some, like, forced air stuff going on. Oh, there we go. We got a hit, I think. Okay, we got 13 hits. No, 14 hits. One which actually did a little damage, but the rest are just bouncing off the armor, which again is expected. Ooh. But, okay, you can release and go. You're not catching up to her now. But then on the aft, I have a similar arrangement. It's kind of hard to see on this guy now, but we have. Did I change it? Oh, I must have changed it. Yeah, for weight balancing. We have 3 3-inch guns on the rear for additional plinking. Now, weight-wise, would, obviously, here, we can retreat you now. Obviously, more torpedoes probably would be the better choice, but there just wasn't enough space. And, yep, there we go. Cost 1.5 million with a crew of 76. Maximum bulkheads. They even have standard quarters instead of cramped, which works weirdly in this game. Because increasing the size of the quarters increases the crew, at least from what I've observed on the design screen. Which I feel like it should be the opposite, in that they decrease the crew but increase their efficiency. So you gotta kind of balance, you obviously want your crew to be as comfortable as possible, but you also want to cram as many people as possible to a certain extent, so that way you can have spares for, different shifts, or, battle stations. You want the extras to man damage control stations and such. Okay, and this guy's... Ooh. His luck's just about run out. I think we're going to do a hard maneuver to port here. And probably launch our torpedoes then. If it'll let us. And then we'll retreat, because I only have 1 reload of torpedoes on these ships, because that makes them a little bit cheaper, and I figure that's probably all they're going to manage to get off anyways. With, how lightly armored and cheap they are. Yeah. They're starting to take hits, so we're only 2 kilometers out. This is probably a good point to swing around, take our torpedo shots, and then get the hell out of Dodge. Yep, the Yodashi is now out of ammo, so we will pull her back. And let's see, for torpedo speed, 32.5 knots, so they do outrun the Battleship Glory here. But, Only by 9 knots, so it's not the best in the world. Unfortunately, we're limited by torpedo tech here, so, well, this guy's going to be late to the party. So, unfortunately, I couldn't, choose a larger torpedo, which would have been faster. You're limited to, I think it's, oh, what is it? Because it's the, there it is, 17-inch or 18-inch. You don't get access to even 19 or 20-inch torpedoes until later. But, oh, we got a hit. Rudder damage, 2 hits. And it was in a rear compartment, so that'll damage your propulsion. And in fact, let's put these guys on save for now, because the closer we get, the better. Now let's actually turn these guys inwards towards each other to confuse them. See, they're wasting their big guns on the boat that's already shot their load. So that's their mistake there. Ooh. Someone got a 3-inch hit on the, or a 4-inch hit on the conning tower there. Alright. They're starting to take hits, so we'll pull them off. Ooh, destroyed one of their secondary guns. Jesus. Which, oh, that's the other thing, too, because I had so much fucking weight left over. You probably wouldn't do this with real torpedo boats, because I had so much fucking weight left over. Normally, I go with light shells because that speeds up the reloading time, so you can just really, even though your HE chance is less per shell, you can lob a lot of shells faster. So normally what I do is light shells. But I had so much weight, I had standard shells, and you can see I chose the most HE-friendly options available to me. Cordite propellant, which is fucking explosive. The British learned that the hard way. And picric acid, which is also fucking dangerous to have on board, but it causes some huge HE buffs. But you can see I have electro-hydro operated turrets, which is a combination of an electric and hydraulic assist for turret systems, an enhanced reloading system, which is just ridiculous, I think, to put that on, that kind of technology on these shitty little torpedo boats. But as you can see, they can really just throw shells out. In fact, on our 4-inch, our reload time is under 8 seconds, which if we had a higher trained crew, that would be even less. On the 3-inch, it's 5 seconds, so that's 12 shells a minute. So that's a lot of potential to start fires, and if not, and you can see here we've been starting fires, like on the conning tower here. And, you know, so even you can't penetrate the armor, you can still, you know, set their top side aflame, and if you're lucky, the flames will just burn out the boat, or ship in this case, I suppose. But yeah, otherwise I don't think there's anything too notable about the design, other than the fucking ridiculousness of it. But you can see they're proving to be very effective. We have yet to actually lose one. Which is shocking to me. I expected to lose about half of these, and we're not even, this isn't even an ideal attack, because ideally I'd have all 8 attack line abreast at once, because that way you kind of overwhelm the gunners. You know, oh no, which boat did I shoot? Which boat do I shoot? And then, you know, they're trying to spread their fire, and then you got all those shell splashes, which will make ranging more difficult. And then, you know, you can just blow your load all at once and get them caught in a crossfire. Especially if, like, you had a group of 4 here and a group of 4 here, and you came at them from different angles. So this coming in 1 or 2 at a time is highly unideal, because then they can just focus their fire on the closest one. But as you can see, they're taking hits. They're even taking some of the fucking big hits. Yeah, they've hit us with up to 10 inches. With up to a 10-inch gun, and they're surviving those and limping back. Granted, not all of them are surviving, but they're you know, like this one, the conning tower is damaged, so you can you know, command staff is dead or wounded. Same here. This one got it the worst, but you can see I don't even have any anti-flooding tech, and they've got all the water pumped out, and they're seaworthy. They're making it out of there. But anyways, let's finish this off. We could look at the Glory. It looks like their biggest guns are 10-inch, which seems a little small for this era. I would expect at least a 12-inch. They have an interesting arrangement. Sixteen 10-inch guns in total, with two 8-inch secondaries, and then some 5 and 4-inch secondaries, and then a shit ton of 3-inch secondaries. So honestly, this is probably one of the ideal boats for that can protect themselves from torpedo boats. I was a little late pulling this guy off, so he might die. But you can see now they got torpedoes coming in from slightly opposing directions here. So evading one set is generally going to kind of put you in harm's way to the other set. And we still have more torpedo boats incoming here. Let's see. Wounded. Retreating. Retreating. Incoming. Retreating. 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 Incoming. So yeah, so we got two boats inbound. And it looks like he's gonna manage to dodge those torpedoes. This one might clip him, but I think it's unlikely. And you can see they're doing work and putting out the fires. So if we charge in full bore, oh, they're still kind of on fire on the rear. But the rudder is damaged and their fire control is damaged, so they might just be... I don't think the rudder's jammed, but it is going to be less responsive. Alright, so let's try to bring our broadside right up alongside it. They're going to have a really good chance of hitting us, because we can't mount fire control systems on boats these small. Alright, I think we're going to have to make a tighter turn here. And we could see from... with these unsafe, so they'll take... Oh. That was a big hit. But this close, they should be able to lock in a solution for the... Come on. Torpedoes away. Come on. Aggressive. Get those torpedoes off, whatever you do. See, this might be our first one to sink, but... I don't know why the... There they go. Retreat. They're not going to make it. They're flooding so heavily. But their sacrifice will be remembered. Yeah, all the end. Yeah, she just fucking ate shit there. But she was able to get in real close, so we lost one torpedo boat. Now this guy, 29 million. Ooh, I think we're looking at 3 hits here. Maybe even as many. Are all 6 gonna hit? Oh, all 6 hit. That's rough. Now, I think, seeing how this battleship is taking these hits like a champ, I think, oh, they have standard bulkhead, standard crew quarters. Turbine engines. I do have turbine engines on mine, too, I think. which again is another expensive piece to put on a small boat. Auxiliary engine shaft, armor, corvettes. They do have double bottom hulls and anti-torpedo too, so they do have an anti-flooding too. So they actually have some pretty decent anti-torpedo tech, at least for the time. It's close to state of the art, but they do, you can tell they were definitely feeling that one. You can see they're listing to starboard here from all the hits, and they, I think they got a list somewhat to the rear as well, to the aft. See, they're using balisite and TNT, so the TNT is a little dangerous for them, but otherwise they're generally using some relatively stable stuff. Obviously, none of it's truly stable because, you know, the whole design purpose is to explode, but let's turn these off for now because we want to... Again, we want to get in as close as possible before using them. They're actually... They took some big hits there, and they are slowing down, which is helpful for us. I don't think it shows their speed anywhere. Woo. Now the other way. Oh. But, okay, now they're starting to pump the water out, so as they do that, they'll pick up speed again. But yeah, this battleship costs $29 million. So my fleet... Ooh, that hurts. We'll put that on save just so they can start computing fire solution. I think that was the problem. By turning it off, they probably weren't computing a firing solution of any type. Oh shit, we have some heavy... Is that all just from the extra water weight? Because it's not... The engines themselves aren't registering damage, but... Alright, so we'll send them to retreat for now. They're still... They got some permanent flooding. They have a damaged engine, otherwise I would send them back in, because they have 2 torpedoes left, but... We'll just have to hope that these do it. I feel like... They might do it. Ooh, fire control damaged. About fucking time. So they'll take... They should be taking penalties to fire control, but I can't see their shoot info there, but we can see they have a maximum 5% accuracy for their biggest guns. And now they detected the torpedoes, so expect them to try to speed up or turn or something. And granted, these are smaller torpedoes. I think this is, like, within a few years, 21-inch torpedoes would become popular, I think. So for this, I think we're looking at most 3 hits, because these 2 are definitely, I think, going to miss, and that one's probably going to miss. Well, who knows, maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised, but yeah, they have Citadel 2 heavy shells, so their fire rate's slower than what it could have been, but I imagine they do have enhanced reloading though. Okay, so that's 2 more torpedo hits on her. Now, this might be enough to do her in, because her structure is less than 50%. Yeah, if these guys could... they can almost do full speed, but they have no... No one's got any hull strength left, so... Oh, it is so tempting. I think she'll go down now, because she's taken 10 torpedo hits, which have caused a ton of fire and flooding. So you can see she's flooding in the fore and midships compartments here. All 3, well, 3 of her engines are damaged. I don't know if she's got 3 or 4. And there she goes down. But yeah, the rudder's damaged. Her fire control's damaged. So there we go. I had $12 billion in torpedo boats, and I was able, for the loss of 1 torpedo boat destroyed and 7 damaged. So if we say an average of $750,000 per in damage, that's what, 4.5. That's $5.25 million plus the one that was sunk. So that engagement would have cost me $6.75 million. And again, that they lost on what, $34 million for that battleship. So this is why naval designers in the late 19th and early 20th century really got attracted to the idea of torpedo boats, because of situations like this. But obviously they never really quite happened. And especially the American PT boats, I think that kind of style, or the German E-boats, would like really exemplify this, but they never really got a chance to show what they were made of. I think they were hobbled by poor fire control systems, which you especially see in the is it the Battle of Lake Gulf? I want to say it was. It was like the last battleship. Sorry, more specifically the battle of the Surigos Strait. Where it was the last battleship action. Oh, sweet. So now you can actually see a close-up of, I could have put a 4th one there, but there's all these stats, and I wanted to reduce this, 4-weight offset, because there's all sorts of different penalties. It's really cool how they, what this does. But yeah, this is... Yeah, cramped quarters 62, spacious quarters 89. Tell me how that makes sense, but because that's complement, not like efficiency or anything. Training is different. $35,000 a month in maintenance, but yeah, that's why I was sorry, Surigos Strait. That's where I was at. Battle of Surigos Strait. I know prior to the actual battle between the American and Japanese battle lines, or at least what remained of the Japanese battle line, I know there were numerous, or at least I recall reading, there were numerous PT boat attacks on the Japanese battle line, which none of them hit. And it's like, okay, this is a huge fleet. And I realize, you know, obviously torpedoes weren't the most accurate weapon, especially at that time, but you're launching so many, you know, and they got to be dodging this way and that and trying to keep formation. And, you know, you'd think if he had swarms, someone's got to get lucky eventually, right? But as we could see here, I think it was hobbled by poor fire control, because you can't mount any fire control on these, so they just kind of eyeball it, I think. And of course, larger ships, I think, have bigger sights, essentially, for or more complex sights, kind of like these rangefinders for guns. You know, battleships would have huge optical rangefinders back in the day, but you don't have the room to put that in a small torpedo boat. So, and it's, I don't know how accurate it is, but there is a game, PT Boats Knights of the Sea. You can get it on Steam, and they show just like a simple iron sight for the torpedo tube. So if that's all they had, then it's like, okay, yeah, I can see why no one's hitting shit now. But yeah, this is practically a destroyer on a and you could make a torpedo boat destroyer, which is what would eventually become destroyers. People would just shorten the name down to destroyer. But God, we packed so much wallop in less than 500 tons, and we went fucking fast too. But in any case, I think that'll conclude this video. So again, just to briefly recap, after my hard drive crashed, my Windows install, which I think it was already corrupted, and on its last legs, it finally gave out, so I had to reinstall Windows, and of course, Windows uninstalled everything, so I'm just trying to put everything back together. So hopefully videos next week. If I'm really lucky, I might even have time to make them this week, in which case they would release late on like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something like that. But other than that, I've got this video and another as a test, because my HDR settings got reset too. And right now they seemed a little bright, so I guess we'll see how this works after it goes through YouTube and the renderer and whatnot. And who knows, maybe we'll make the Delta Force videos actually visible. But yeah, so with that, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.